Good day and a very warm welcome to Time with Catherine. Today, I would like us to look at a story in John chapter 4 and verses 1 through to 26. And it is Jesus' encounter with a Samaritan woman at Jacob's well. From a religious point of view, there's everything wrong with that story. Jesus was a Jew, and the Jews didn't want to have anything to do with the Samaritans because they were not pure-blooded Jews. They were a mixture of Jews and foreigners that had been brought into the land when the 10 tribes of Israel were carried away into captivity. And so they were not considered pure-blooded Jews. Secondly, they had doctrinal differences. The Jews believed that God had to be worshipped in Jerusalem, but the Samaritans believed that he had to be worshipped on Mount Gerizim. And so that was a difference. Thirdly, Jesus was a rabbi and he was not supposed to be speaking to a woman who was all by herself. It was wrong. He was not supposed to do that. And then, by the woman's own admission, she was 5 times divorced and she was living with a man who was not her husband. In that culture, divorce was frowned upon. And so, being 5 times married and divorced said a lot about that woman. And yet, that was the woman that Jesus chose to have a conversation with. Among other things, he told her that God was spirit and that God was looking for people who would worship him in spirit and in truth. Who is the Samaritan at your well? Who is that person who doesn't look like you or who worships differently and therefore you think they are not deserving of your attention? What religion does is that religion separates us, and religion makes you feel like you are better than somebody who doesn't see God in the same light that you see him or worship him in the way that you worship him. The Samaritan at your well may be your Muslim neighbor, maybe your Hindu neighbor, maybe black, maybe white. You know, if Christ were alive today, he will see Christ in everybody because the Spirit of Christ resides in everybody, but at different levels of manifestation and awareness. Who is a Samaritan at your well? Christ is not a religion. Christ is a way of life. And so think upon it. Look around you. You may find so many Samaritans who need your help, who need encouragement, who need a word of advice, who need to be taught about the love of Christ. And so as you step out today, look for the Samaritans. There are so many of them, and they are deserving of your attention. Kindle Christ in them. Let them be aware that Christ lives within them. Do not be religious. Be spiritual. Who is the Samaritan at your well? Religion will divide us, but the love of Christ will unite us. I hope you've been blessed by this message. And if you've been blessed, share it so that others are blessed as well. You will find me on Facebook, Time with Catherine, and also on YouTube, Time with Catherine or Catherine Asantiapia. Thank you so much for listening. Stay blessed.